Hello everybody, I'm Camp Christo and welcome back to the Belligerent Brandenburg campaign. You know, I've started recording this episode 3 times. Every time I say campaign. I'm just going to go with it this time. Campaign is what I was trying to say. Let's beat up Stettin. Get some more power projection. I think you can. I'm pretty sure you can stack humiliations. I'm very glad to learn that show strength war goals do give you the humiliation bonus. That's excellent. So we're now gaining crazy Monarch points, even without any advisors, which is fantastic news. Let's see what we can do to stack wipe all involved before we actually settle into sieges, as has been our standard practice for these wars recently. Has the plague passed? It has indeed. We seem to have come out of it relatively unscathed. I'm sure not entirely, but relatively. We're going to heavily restrict looting again. I'm pretty much always going to heavily restrict looting unless we're doing something like a campaign intentionally to loot. Like we might at some point go to war with like a big Russia and just tear them apart, cause a big famine. I love doing that. I know that sounds bad, but it's really fun to go into one of your rivals' territories and just totally loot them to the ground, cause a huge famine and devastation, and it's great. It's very satisfying knowing that you're having a huge impact on their economy for a long time, rather than just, you know, whatever you take out of the peace deal. It's good. It's like devastation in the base game, but a bit more impactful, I think, the famines in. Yeah. So I like that we can outpace running guys. Marital bliss. Wait, what? The von Holland? Oh, I didn't notice. Our Electress is actually a Hohenzollern. Hohenzollern. I don't know. This thing. So we can get a level 2 manpower advisor who's 50% off, but that's definitely not going to happen. I'll take the prestige. We definitely can't afford a level 2 advisor, even if they're 50% off. 50% off. 50%? 50% off level 2 advisor, by the way. Still more expensive than a level 1 advisor, if you're not aware. Yeah, they're locked, unfortunately for them. They could move the fleet and avoid landing, but too late. Nice. The idea costs. I'm actually going to wait. I'm going to min-max it. We're going to get the educated ruler first. Absolutely crushing them still so far, which is great. I'm displeased about Saxony rivaling us. What we can try and do is just outgrow them, and then they won't be able to rival us anymore. So I think that's probably what we're going to do, rather than actually beat them a bunch. I would like to have some boats so that I can prevent these guys reinforcing every time. Oh, they trained a cav! That's not a good idea. I guess it came out of their estate, probably. Right, yes, I should be improving relations with Wolgast. Get that Diplo points. Those Diplo points from that mission. Definitely worth sieging these guys down since they only have level 1 forts. Should we go over and siege down Holstein? Maybe. We've got 100 ducats. Let's give some gifts. There you go. I want to get them up to at least 50. So we get some bit more tax from them. Generally over time, by the way, the opinions of your, or rather your relations with your estates changes, as you can see here. And it changes, as it shows here, it changes from their income and influence. And they don't care what causes changes their income and influence. They just get happier when they're more powerful and more rich, and they get less happy when they're less powerful and less rich. So our constant demoting of the great nobles may annoy them, but we might be able to counteract that by conquering more and more areas. Aragon's in charge, interesting. We may be able to counteract that by conquering more and more areas which will come under greater noble control, thereby increasing their income. So if we can increase their income at the same rate, or I don't know what the actual relation is of how important income versus influence is, but let's just assume they're the same amount, just to make speaking about it simpler. If we can increase their income at the same rate as we decrease their influence, then they'll stay happy with us. I've actually never seen it go down, but I think that's because I've only played the Spanish campaign since I played with the new system where the estates have this kind of over time ticking opinion thing based on their influence and wealth. And in my Spanish campaign, I was, you know, my whole country was just constantly getting richer and richer and richer and richer, so they just kept getting very, very happy. I actually had the burghers being the merchant types, capped out at like 100 relations with me, and I couldn't demand enough favors from them to make them ever not have 100 opinion because they were just getting so wealthy. It's quite funny. And I didn't do my own advice and set this, but they've still got 100 gold. Nice. Causing some inflation, but like I said, inflation is still ticking up. It's ticking up by quite a bit, though. We may wish to take an idea group to control that. And that's what I was going to do, which I've forgotten. We're going to centralize the state. I should have done this right from the beginning. I was scared off by the fact that it's actually ticking down because of being the HRE and corruption and all that stuff. We should have just done it anyway. We should do our best to centralize. We will need to take one idea group, which is something like, economic, I think, is the yearly inflation reduction from that. Once we get rich enough to build a bank, we'll be okay. But I think banks are, pretty late. You have to have trade ideas for the bank, apart from anything else. But banks are, no, it's not banks. Is it not banks? Oh no, they've changed it. They're no longer wildly overpowered. Banks used to give minus 0.25 inflation per year, which was stupendously overpowered. They don't do that at all anymore. Shame. Should I take this now? No. We're saving up for educated ruler. That's right. It's not worth it. 5%. It's fine. Let's just take it now. We'll get the army tradition instead. Stettin wants peace. No peace. Did I already peace out with you? No. There we go. Brandenburg, give me your money. Give me war reps. Give up your claims. Well, we could take trade power. We'd make a little bit go this way. Sure, give me your trade power. And end your alliance with Stettin. Sure. There we go. Nice. So now we should have very slightly more power here. Where are we? Quite a few nations have influence in this node, as you can tell. My lord. There we are. 0.4 from provinces. So next month that should increase. Let's see. Ah, right. The list is going to reset. Let's sort by country so we can find ourselves more easily. Should have done that first time, really. Where are we? Excuse me? Am I blind? Where's Brandenburg? It's alphabetical. We are called Brandenburg, yes? Maybe I just have 0 trade power here? Am I just an idiot? Where am I? I don't understand. Anyway, not important. Bremen, right. I need to break off my ties to you. Who else? This one. And then we'll go for the monthly tick. We'll spend it improving over here. Then we'll switch back to cutting ties with these Westerners. Alright, Bremen. No more guarantee for you, I'm afraid, my good man. Okay, 20 legitimacy? Yeah. Yeah, gimme. Nice. Ticking up even when we're at full. That's excellent. I think it does trend towards 50, by the way. Very nice. Having high legitimacy is great, not only for unrest, but also for autonomy, which we should start seeing getting a bit better in some of these places over here. The separatism is reducing now. Actually, no separatism. Oh, I'll click on new mark. Yeah. Only, how many more years of separatism? Only another 25 years of separatism up there. Glad we managed to avoid any revolts over here. Did we avoid the peasant revolt in Magdeburg in the end, or did we fight it? I can't recall. I'm very glad we have a workshop here. We make a lot of money out of workshops. We are going to have to go and siege these guys at least a bit, probably, to make them leave this war. Maybe we want to invest in some ships. You know, 3 trade ships would put us way ahead of any of the local navies. It's going to take us absolutely yonks to build, though. Let's not do that now. The autonomy in these provinces is so great that it's going to take a long time. It's autonomy and... what's the one? Separatism? No, just separatism. Okay. Cool. Mecklenburg Stargand wants to marry us. No, that's fine. Thank you. Okay. Whoa, wants to marry me. No, thanks. Lesser noble privileges revoked has expired. You know what that means? It's time to revoke some lesser noble privileges. I thought we had to be at peace to do this. Oh well. I want to revoke all their privileges, so when we demote lots of people, while they're weak, basically, so there's less people to object while we're doing it. Which one do we want to do first? 5% autonomy in every province or 40% tax rate? It doesn't really matter, because they're so weak right now. Let's just get rid of one of them. They're furious again. At least we only lost one stab again. How close are we to going back up to... Oh, perfect timing. Nice. One more year. Half a year till we get back up. Great. Not to toot my own horn too much about how perfect the timing is. We're going to keep giving them favours. The influence of this state cannot be lower than 5%. No, we can't give them favours right now. Darn it. Leap. What's that? Royal marriage? No, thanks. Alright, so in terms of getting military access over there, you'll give me it, and you'll give me it. Cool. But actually, we don't need to bother, because the war has been going on long enough that we get straight away to 100%. It hasn't been going on 5 years. Can't be confused. I don't want your money. I want your strength. Or rather, to demonstrate that you have none. Another 100 of all those points, and another plus 30 on a humiliation there. Fantastic. We will take 2/5. So, none of them have become ineligible rivals. So, you know, we can just do it again pretty shortly. Of course, as I say that, Stettin is no longer a valid rival. Let's consider our options. Saxony is the obvious choice. Poland, also a good choice. Denmark, I mean, they're pretty freaking powerful. They do now have Norway. I'm very scared of Denmark. With their bulldogs. Are they loyal? Sweden's not loyal. So they wouldn't help them in a war. But nevertheless, I mean, how many men does Denmark have? Probably quite a few, right? It's not looking like it's going to be a very large number. Denmark? Denmark. Only 2,000. Thought something at 5, though. And Norway? Norway has no men. Alright, maybe we could rival Denmark. If we could go and nick Sealand, that would be fantastic. We've got basically no aggressive expansion, yeah? Yeah. Well, maybe it's time to start looking at some expansion possibilities again. What's my mission? Wargast, of course. Let's finish doing Wargast, and then we'll consider our next play. Meanwhile, keep on drilling, baby. Still at 4 force limit? Yes. Getting up there, almost at 50% professionalism, which is marvellous. Hey, there we go. Back up to level 2. Seems nicely in sync with our current stability increase interval. We can revoke it, go down to 1, and then go back up to 2, almost immediately afterwards. Ideal. One more month, and we can get those Diplo points. A family secret. We will lose the prestige rather than scolding her publicly. What? Your heir has been running around town in the most unchristian fashion. Evelyn, behave yourself. We're going to scold her publicly. Now, I mean, this might come across as sexist, and I sincerely don't mean it this way. So, hear me out. Danzig would like independence. Helps supporting independence. Not right now. But if you're a man in the Middle Ages, and you run around being promiscuous before you get married, right? You're an idiot still, because there's all the taboos around it and all that stuff, and there's no good birth control. And you're, like, quite immoral, in my opinion, because you're making, potentially, you're making women have children out of wedlock, which, like, makes them almost unmarriageable in certain medieval societies, right? So you're definitely, like, dumb and horrible. But if you're a woman, you're even more stupid, right? How dumb would you have to be? I guess you just wouldn't understand the connotations of the situation, but can you imagine how dumb you'd have to be to, like, be a promiscuous woman in the Middle Ages? You're gonna have kids. You're gonna have kids, and then, like, no one's gonna marry you because they're all, you know, of a certain tradition. That's a really bad idea. So, Evelyn, behave yourself. You're cleverer than this. You've got 6 administrative skill. You should be able to work out this is not a smart play. Anyway, I hope that didn't sound too sexist, but I feel like to be a promiscuous woman in the Middle Ages, you'd have to be real dumb. Anyway, let's go to war with that. Excuse me. Oh, it's Brunswick. I thought it was UK. It's quite similar, in my defense. If they'd rival the UK, I'd be real mad. Out of Ruppen and Brunswick. So I think it's time for us to seize this province. It's going to be a while. Got a long truce with them. No truce with Wolgast, who've just been improving relations with. Could go kill them. They've got no cities, but they've got good coastal land. Obviously, the Teutons are the other option. We should probably just wait for some manpower for a bit, actually. We're in a bit of a tough spot right now. I don't believe I have embargoed all my rivals. That's right, we haven't picked a third rival. Okay. I don't think there's much point antagonizing Poland. For now, if they're content to guarantee me... Has the guarantee gone away? Where's their guarantee gone? What happened to the Polish guarantee? Do I not have it set as a message that I get when a guarantee gets cancelled? Guarantee. I spelled guarantee. I know. I'm an idiot. GUA. Okay. GUA. When a nation revotes that guarantee. No, it was a pop-up. I must have just missed it. Okay. They're getting absolutely massacred by those naval rebels, aren't they? I wonder if that's going to kill their union. It wouldn't normally, but if there's some scripted thing, it might. So I'm very upset that I can't ally you. Could ally these guys again. No, couldn't actually, because they've decided to ally Milan. Good choice. Powerful HRE member Milan. Good person to be allied to is the Emperor. 100 ducats. Could demote some greater nobles right now. We're ahead of time on Miltech, so it's a good time. It's going to make the lesser nobles very displeased. But that's only Newmark here. Let's do it. Demote greater nobles, and if we did it, yeah. Back up our words with military might. Greater nobles demote. I would like to show, tell me exactly where they demote. What's that? Rural infrastructure rank 2 is being built here. Nice. Stargrad. Stargard? Where's that? Out up here, probably. Yep, there it is. Cool. Much more manageable. It seems to me that there's a bias for promoting them further away from the capital. These guys just keep asking for a freaking alliance. Pirates, it's here. Cool. So that rural infrastructure is something the estates build, which increases the profitability of our food exports. I think it also increases the amount of food. Whereas it doesn't produce more food per se, they represent the local someone's ability to find a better price for their goods. So you get increasing value out of this trade good. Because there are two trade goods in a province, this one and this one. Utermark, which is here. Cool. And Kolberg. We're getting them demoting all over the freaking place. Sweet. Now all we need to do is the burghers to gain control of Magdeburg. Ooh, more rural infrastructure being built in Altmark there. So we'll see the new balance of power when it next recalculates, but they're both very disloyal right now. So if we look at some provinces, you know, the greater nobles are pretty displeased. But once this recalculates, we're going to be able to start giving them gifts. How long till I can give you a gift? 36 months. And we need them to be, you know, influential enough we can actually give them gifts, otherwise it'll just be in a constant holding pattern. There's no point waiting till we can get their loyalty up to like 80. Considering, actually can't really do much with it. So we should probably keep spying on Prussia, shouldn't we? Allied to Pskov, still got all their vassals. Although, we know that Danzig is disloyal. Are the others disloyal? No. I don't think there's any way we can make the Livonians disloyal. How's the Russian theatre going? Muscovy tends to unify and form Russia in this mod, and they're huge, but they don't really seem to get very involved in European politics. They can't ally people who don't border them or share their dynasty. I believe, anyway. Anhalt would like a marriage. Nope, that's fine by me. Not until we can actually vassalize you, which is going to take a long time. You have to be pretty big for peaceful vassalizations in this mod. Truce with Ruppen has expired. Ruppen is this guy, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, we could go to war with them, but since we can't siege down their province without serious investment, either in, you know, short-term going over the force limit, mercenaries, or, I mean, we have normal guys going over the force limit, I guess, or estate troops. I don't think it's worth going to war with them right now. End of the Peasants' War in Hainaut. What was I looking for? That's right, states. I would like to kill Anhalt, actually. They've got 3 allies? No, just 2. One of them's a bit spread out. This guy, obviously, not a threat. Mainz, they are an elector. We have a few men. Obviously, I would love my cause back. But it's not going to happen, unfortunately. Not anytime soon. I want the Teutons to go to war with Poland. Poland, stabilize and go to war with the Teutons so we can go to war with them at the same time. Our manpower reserves need to recover. I like this mission because even though we're not going to accomplish it anytime soon, it gives you a modifier, national recovery, which lasts 10 years. It gives you that manpower recovery speed. It's very nice. Oh, we have a loyal villagers head. I didn't notice that. Cool. Don't want to demand anything. Don't want to bestow privileges. Oh, okay, there's the recalculation. Excellent. They're now up to 14% influence. Let's offer them favors. Give them the cash. We could give them other things, by the way, but the problem is when you do this, they demand privileges more frequently if you give them these. So I like to generally just give them cash. And giving your estates cash, you know, you are losing money. Don't get me wrong, but you're not just losing money. You're giving up money that will be part of it anyway, reinvested in things like those farm estates and other buildings and things. They do spend a lot of it, though, just paying their levies, which they have sitting around, which, you know, almost all the time you're not using. Okay, but I'm going to call it a part there. In the next one, you know, if we see the golden opportunity to strike, we'll go after East Prussia, but I think we're going to focus on maybe taking out Wolgast, perhaps Anhalt. I want to get these other areas I have states on. I do. That does mean a province off Saxony. I never rivaled anyone, my lord. All right, let's bite the bullet and rival Saxony. Yeah, let's do it. Saxony only has level military tech level 9. Their first idea group was also quality, but they haven't really invested much in it yet. Got the immediate rivals, CB. Yeah, so Saxony is going to be our you know, our early game boss, as it were. We need to beat our southern rival and assume supremacy over this area. They're almost entirely in a different trade node, so in fact they are entirely in a different trade node, so it's not a huge issue. I would like that mine. Yeah, if we could take over this whole area, that would be a huge boost to our economy. They are an elector, so maybe we might want to vassalize them when they're small, but to get their vote guaranteed in our pocket. But we'll see. We'll see. Anyhow, until the next episode, thank you ever so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.